I've been collecting retro video games for well over 5 years now, and in that time, I've put together a pretty decent collection of well over 2,000 games. But now, because of a change in job, I'm in a whole different city. But it's a chance to do the whole thing over again, just like we did the first time, starting with just $25 and building our way to a killer retro video game collection. Welcome to Game Room 2. This is episode 6. Let's start things off the way we do every week with a recap of where we left things off in the last episode. $57.89 Canadian left in the game fund. A pretty decent little collection of games is starting to grow. I've actually started to catalog these in the collector's app price charting, and it's a little over $500 in value right now where things sit, and that's not including things like the shirts, the books, the chargers, and the helmets that we have up top. So only 5 episodes in and starting episode 6, not bad for a $25 start. The little stuffy we picked up last week turns out to be worth a little bit of money thanks to someone who commented letting me know that those actually have a little bit of value, and a naming competition down in the comments this week. Give me the name for our stuffy friend up there, and I'll take the most upvoted comment, and we'll give a name to that guy. Let's get into some sales. Elemental Master on the Sega Genesis finally sold on eBay for a total profit of $80.06. And also, that Thrasher t-shirt that we picked up last week, yeah, that sold for $15, bringing the total game fund up to $122.95 to get us started on episode 6. Last week was all about thrift stores, and this week it's all about Facebook Marketplace. Just sales and just pickups. No thrift stores, no pawn shops, just Facebook Marketplace, and mostly just video games. Facebook Marketplace has probably been one of my most successful places in finding retro video games in the past 5 years, and I love collecting for the Super Nintendo. Miling off for no shoes right now.
Yeah, that's nice.
Beautiful. Funny, right on, there's 30. Thanks, man, appreciate it.
No worries.
Have a good one. Tecmo Super Bowl 3 on the Super Nintendo, and stoked to add this one to Game Room 2, one that actually carries a pretty decent little amount of value considering I only paid $15 for that one. And the second is Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Really happy to have this one in the collection as I don't own it in the original Game Room, and their values are pretty decently above that, and that's a really nice way to add some value to our Game Room. A couple of pickups that are absolutely going to be sticking around in this collection. And the cartridge-based goodness does not stop there. I picked up a copy of Power Rangers. What's this one called? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the Super Nintendo. The buyer wanted $30 for this one, but they were willing to take $25. Not a bad little value for a game like this. Man, this one holds a lot of nostalgia for me. I played so much of this growing up as a kid. I actually didn't own this cartridge, but I had a couple of friends who owned it, and it was absolutely a favorite on the Super Nintendo, especially when you were right in that sweet spot of the age where you're kind of messing around and using your imagination playing as Power Rangers. It's a pretty cool little way to have some fun with a show that I was absolutely into at the time, and a really cool addition to the Game Room. I'm not done digging around on Facebook Marketplace. And a pretty good score this time for sure. I have to give a big shout out to Time for Games, a viewer that commented in saying that I really should be on the lookout for Spec Ops: The Line on either PS3 or Xbox 360. Apparently this one is no longer available for digital download. That's something that can often drive up the value of games, and I was pretty stoked with what I picked up this time.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. Awesome, thanks so much. There's 20.
Check them, but
That's all
I
right.
checked
All
them
good.
before.
Thank you so much.
No
Appreciate it. Have a
problem.
great day.
You too.
4 games on a variety of consoles. Let's start with the obvious one, Spec Ops: The Line on the PlayStation 3, a game that I actually don't own back in the original Game Room. This copy is complete in box and in just pristine shape. Absolutely stoked to add this one. This copy is definitely staying in the game room, but I'm gonna be on the lookout for this one in the future because it would make a really good flip for funding the game room. Two pickups on the PS4. One that I've actually seen very recently in a Metal Jesus Hidden Gems video. A remaster? Is this one a reboot? Formerly a PlayStation 1 game that's sort of been redone for the PlayStation 4, and one that I'm actually pretty stoked to get into. I don't have this one on the PS4 and it is an exclusive, so super happy to add that to the collection. And the other is Code Vein, sort of anime looking game that seemed to have some pretty decent value on eBay, so this is gonna stay in the collection for now, but might be a good flipper for later to add a little bit of cash to the game room. And last up is Mortal Kombat on the Xbox 360. Pretty much everything that I got in this lot was in really nice shape and complete in box, so happy to have that one as well. This one I do already own, so very likely will be up on Facebook Marketplace to see if we can get a little cash for the game room. Those 4 pickups were $5 a piece, so $20 total, leaving us with $77.95 in the game fund. And I got a pretty interesting message from a buddy who I've dealt with before on Facebook Marketplace. Now, one of the cool things about Marketplace is that it is a place to make connections with other gamers and other collectors, and that was absolutely the case with Sebastian.
Hi. Oh, hi, how are you? Oh, hi. Hey, man, how's it going? Good to see you, dude.
He was actually my source for that Fire Emblem pickup on the GameCube a week or two ago, and if you're catching the bonus footage at the end of the episodes, thanks for sticking around. Now, he's been watching my videos and he reached out to me on Messenger to see if he could help out a little bit with the game room. Sebastian was super kind to invite me into his home to check out what is a pretty rad little game room. Okay, so Sebastian is actually the guy who made the sale with me for the Fire Emblem that I picked up recently on GameCube, and you're going for like a pretty significant portion of the GameCube collection, right?
Hoping for the full black set eventually, but that might take a few years.
Not just full set, but full black set. Okay.
I'm keeping the Player's Choice for now until, you
Yeah.
have the set still. But
When he gets the full set together, we'll have to come back and take a peek through the game room because this is a pretty sweet space.
that might take a few years. But
Yeah. Okay, so look back for the video in a couple of years when we have the whole thing ready to go. But he's been watching some of the videos, so he's going to help us out just a little bit with Game Room 2 and a couple of items that we can probably flip for a little bit of cash. So always good to have contacts through Facebook Marketplace. $20 was an incredibly generous deal for the stuff that Sebastian gave us to help out with Game Room 2. Let's go through the stuff. He saw that we like selling weights, so we got 2 kettlebells, a 10 and a 15 pounder, a complete in-box greatest hits copy of Crazy Taxi in pretty nice condition. Because we really needed more Wii wheels, why not? We still haven't sold any of the chargers that we have in Game Room 2, but there's never a harm in having another. Wii Power Brick and Wii AVI cables. Pretty useful to have in case we find a console without any attachments, and at the rate we've been picking up Wii games, we're probably headed towards owning a console in this game room too. And what might be the most interesting thing that I picked up from his game room is this copy of Vagrant Story. Now, the disc itself is absolutely mangled. I tried it in my PlayStation 1 and he did too, and those scratches are deep. But there is still a manual, and the case is in pretty decent shape, so this one I'm not sure what we're gonna do with yet. I'd really like to see if we can either get that disc working or maybe even save up enough cash to make this copy complete. $20. Thanks, dude. After that killer pickup in Sebastian's game room, we've got a few more stops to make because I'm seeing a couple more interesting things on Facebook Marketplace this week.
Hi. Good and you? Awesome. You said 10 was okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Everything else, it seems like it kind of had sold, already?
Pretty well. I have Just Dance. I have like Up. Like,
Okay, yeah.
Not the
Just whatever
Mario
was in the
ones.
listing that didn't go.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
I can never pass on a $10 copy of Wii Sports. This is a complete in-box copy that was sold separately from that little cardboard one that you're used to seeing, They have around the same value for resale, but every good game collection needs a copy of Wii Sports, and this is absolutely the copy to get if you're gonna collect it.
We drove a long way for this one. Another Facebook Marketplace pickup. All right.
And why not pick up another Wii game? Ocean Commander on the Nintendo Wii. This one's a complete in-box copy in really nice shape that I found on Facebook Marketplace for $5. And I've seen this one kicking around on a few Hidden Gems videos for the Nintendo Wii, so let me know down in the comments section if you've checked out Ocean Commander. It looks like a pretty interesting little submarine-themed side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, and art style looks pretty cool, and it might be an interesting one. Let me know if you checked this one out. We're all the way down to $42.95 Canadian in the Game Fund, but midweek, a couple of sales rolled in. First up is Guitar Hero Aerosmith on the Nintendo Wii. That sold Facebook Marketplace, well, actually local resale, to my brother-in-law, Andrew, for $10, who you've seen in a couple of videos before. He had a guitar that he had tested and wanted a copy of the game to go with it. That small bag of DS games that we won in a game of rock, paper, scissors from my buddy Tom sold for $10 local Facebook Marketplace resale, and we had an eBay sale. Finally, our Apple mouse sold for a total profit of $10.18 on eBay, which brings our total game fund all the way right back up to $73.13. And we're right back on Facebook Marketplace looking for more games. And you're not going to believe how we end this week.
Buddy up first slate.
Thanks. How's it going? Not too bad.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So there's those two.
Cool, thank you.
And so they're in bag here. They're both
That's great.
just so they wouldn't bang around.
Thank you so much. I so
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's 60.
No, that's perfect.
Great.
Thanks so much, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well. Take care.
See ya.
Just like way back on episode 2, we found more Guitar Hero Live guitars. If you've been following along with the series, you know that these have caused a little bit of drama for us. I am super stoked and confident moving. Oh, crap. The first one we bought was an Xbox 360 model, and the buyer made an attempt to return it, which held our payout of around $100 up for almost 2 weeks before they failed to return it, and we got that money right back into our account. I'm gonna try the whole thing over again, but this time with 2 guitars. Now these ones are Wii/PS3 models, and yes, they do come with the dongles. They're a little bit of a different style than the dongle for the Xbox 360 models. These still need to be tested and taken back to the original game room to see if they're even working at all. But we spent $60 on these 2 dongles and these 2 guitars, and I'm really hoping we can make out a little better with them the second time around than we did the first. We're gonna need some sales to start off episode 7 because Game Room Fund on this episode ends at $13.13 Canadian, but the game shelves are looking absolutely stocked. It's still blowing my mind that we started this whole thing 6 episodes ago with just $25, and we've built our way up to what is a pretty decent little collection in just a really short period of time. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Game Room 2. I'm absolutely stoked for all the comments, likes, subscribes, all that good stuff. It goes such a long way into helping my channel grow. I appreciate it. I can't wait to catch you again on the next episode.
Lucky you stuck around until the end of the video for bonus footage, so you get a little bit of Rosie hanging out in the game room, having a nap, and also a little bit of behind the scenes of what's going on here at the main game room. I've been doing a little bit of organizing and a little bit of cleaning, especially over here on the kind of unseen side of the game room that doesn't get a lot of camera footage. Over here is sort of the Xbox and PlayStation side of the game room that doesn't usually get filmed as much. Down here on the other end of the game room is where I generally do the bulk of my filming that you see in the videos that I film in the main game room. I basically decided it's time to part with some big chunks of the game room. It's just too much bulk, too many $5, $10, $15 games that I'm never going to play. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of great games in that price range. It's not all about heavy hitters, but this has become kind of a curation phase of the collection. I'll take a picture of the stack of games that are headed out of the game room. A lot of those are being sold off and traded for some Grail type games, but also games that I know I really want to play and have in the game room. Probably most notably is that I've sold off just about all of my Nintendo collection. The only thing I've kept is this gold cartridge from my childhood. This is the one I played on in the 90s as a small kid. Yeah, I'm just not feeling that same love for that console that I used to, and so the earliest stuff we're collecting now is for the Super Nintendo, which is kind of wild to think about. But yeah, that's the behind the scenes in the main game room. What's been going on here, besides Rosie taking a nap, is yeah, selling off a lot of the stuff in the game room that we're just not playing anymore. Thanks for sticking around for a little bit of bonus footage, and we'll catch you on the next episode.